Welcome inside our first round postseason press conference. Welcome in Coach Mayberry, Owen Spencer from Aurora. Coach, just sitting here, almost in the same spot 1 year ago this weekend, having now seen the Titans 3 times over the last 12 months, given a really tough battle, all 3. What are your thoughts on, over your now, I believe, 6 years at Aurora, how this program has grown, back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances for the first time in your career? What did you take away from not just this game, but the season as a whole?
Yeah, I can't believe I've been here for 6 years. First thought, like you saying that still blows my mind. I remember just taking over a very successful and great program and just wanted to continue that tradition of excellence. And these guys definitely have been doing that day in and day out. That's our biggest focus is just getting better every single day and not focusing on what's happening tomorrow, what's happening down the line next week, next year. It's what are we doing today to make our team and make yourself better. And I feel like these kind of performances are the culmination of just that daily hard work. So I've been proud of our guys for putting in that work when nobody's watching, so we can have tough performances in games, and really buying into the fact we always say, hey, there's no big games, just big performances, and focusing on what you can control. And I really think like today, but this year has definitely been a culmination of all those guys' hard work. So I'm really proud of our guys for that.
Yeah, happy to be joined by sophomore Owen Spencer as well. 2 goals and assists, 4 ground balls in this afternoon's game. And Owen, I want to talk to you a little bit about the game flow today. Titans jumped out to a pretty early 4-1 lead right by the beginning of the second quarter. 14 minutes later, we were tied at 5. Titans scored 7 unanswered goals in the third quarter, and sweating with 2 minutes to play after Spartans answered back with 5 in a row. You talk so much about the toughness and keep fighting every single time you're down, but what did you guys use to motivate yourself in the huddle over there when you're looking at season on the line in a hole that looks insurmountable and then suddenly it isn't?
We go by the motto: trust yourself, trust your brothers. So that was really stressed in the huddle. Visualize. Mayberry stressed that a ton over this week. Visualize yourself doing your job, and visualize yourself scoring that goal, and you'll be successful. But we fell short today, unfortunately.
Yeah, and on the one hand, it's tough to see a season that has been so successful over the past couple months come to such a quick end on a Wednesday afternoon. But it's the reality of a 38-team national tournament. You're going to run into really tough teams right away. There's not a lot of there's no cupcakes out there in the NCAA Division III lacrosse tournament, that's for sure. What did you guys, and this is for either of you, what did you guys take away from a very familiar opponent here in the first round, and a team you saw 52 weeks ago and a couple months ago as well? What was kind of the game plan coming in?
Yeah, I think that it really helped playing a very familiar opponent in a very familiar setting and trying to not trying to downplay it. I feel like I said, there's no big games. Just big performances, and that's really what we were trying to focus on. We've been here before. We know it's a 2-hour bus ride. We know we're going to be in that fancy football locker room. We know we're going to walk out to the field and everything. We know we know this opponent, and we know what we're going to do. So that familiarity was something that really allowed us to be able to visualize doing our job, like Owen said, and it allowed us to really just focus on the next play. It's a game of runs, like you mentioned. All those runs were incredible to be a part of, and we knew it was going to be a game of runs, especially against such a skilled and high level and high intensity team like Illinois Wesleyan. But just focusing on getting the next one. We always say it's 0-0. I don't coach the score, whether we're up by 20 or down by 20. We don't focus on that. We focus on just getting the next one and playing our level and how we play. We really try to not focus on who we play. We try to focus on how we play. And I think having that mindset consistently over the year and not drastically changing everything up just because it's an NCAA tournament game, and having that familiarity and that consistency has really been beneficial for our guys. It's not just me saying, okay, this is not a big game, when I haven't done that all season. So that's really like going into this game, and having a familiar opponent definitely helped kind of back that up.
This is a question for both of you guys. It turned into a very chippy and physical game there towards the end of the first half, and then kind of turned more physical in the second half. Can you guys kind of speak on that and how physical it got?
When you play a team 4 times in 2 years and your season's on the line, that's going to happen.
Yeah, things will happen, but we got to remember to trust ourselves and trust our brothers. Everything's all about us. Mayberry stresses that too. Keep it about us.
Guy.
Yeah, he is a big sayings guy. We just got to focus on ourselves. We don't care. They were frustrated because they had never seen us play like we did in the first quarter, and should have just kept to ourselves.
Yeah, I go back to the game that happened a couple months ago. I think you guys had a lot of improvement in this game. What do you guys kind of think about that, and where you came from even just 2 months ago to now?
Not giving up a 15-1 run helps. That's probably the big one that we were stressing. Our offense has a lot more control over the game flow and pulse of the game than they think sometimes. We don't have a lot of depth, so being able to control the tempo is something that we really did stress. And that would probably be the biggest thing that I felt like we were trying differently this time, was instead of just trying to get like 50 shots, we wanted to get less total shots, but much higher quality shots. We wanted to get assisted goals. We knew playing a zone defense that's what we needed to do to be successful. Of our 10-7 were assisted. Tyler Forstall had 5 assists, so that's a huge performance right there, and that was exactly what we were trying to do differently from the first time we played them. Having Austin Spokley back, he's our starting LSM, one of the best defensive players in the region by far. 4 GBs, 3 CTs, really disrupting their offense. That was game changing. Yeah, exactly.
First time playing
he's a sophomore, but he's been kind of banged up by injury, so having him was game changing for our defense, and really just disrupting their offensive skill that they have on their side. So yeah, having Austin Spokley step up was game changing for us too today.
And just speaking on the season as a whole, I mean, you guys ended the season very well. You swept out your conference. You guys won your conference championship. Do you guys consider the season a success, even though falling today?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I always say like our expectations are conference championships and winning NCAA tournament games, regardless of the year, and that's never gonna change. Just because we didn't exceed those expectations doesn't mean it wasn't a successful year and a fulfilling and a great year. Unfortunately, in sports, only one team gets to win the last game of the season, so that's just the reality of being in this profession for me, and for being an athlete for these young men, and not focusing on just the season, the outcome of the season, and just developing good daily habits. Like we were able to do that, and that's why I feel like this team was beyond successful and definitely probably overachieved for what was kind of expected of us this year. Yeah.
Reed Mayberry, Owen Spencer, we just want to thank you so much for your time. Congrats on a conference title, NCAA berth, and a great season. Certainly looking forward to hopefully some regular season NCAA tournament matchups down the road as well. Have a wonderful summer, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys next year.
Yeah.
you. Bones had 10 ground balls. That's awesome. Yeah, it's just like ask you a question and you answer. I don't know what else. Did they prop you? No, there was no one that was.
I'd like to welcome the squad from the victorious Titans into our press conference room. Coach Zach Iannucci, Gage Black, Michael Campagna, and Alex Oxenmana representing your victorious Illinois Wesleyan Titans. 14-10 the final in a game that looked like jumped out to a 4-1 lead. Looked like Titans could pull away a little bit there early. 7 unanswered in the third quarter. Looked like could pull away again, put that away, and Aurora just kept coming back. What did you take away? I don't know, Coach, how much you're going to have to offer us voice-wise here, but any quick takeaways from that game from your perspective?
No, I think we tried a couple different things from a coaching staff standpoint. And we liked some things, didn't like some things, but I think some of that unevenness and the rhythm can be attributed to some coaching decisions. The guys that were out there played really hard. But we just tried some different things this time. You know, in the middle of May, it's always a good time to change it up. Right? We found a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things, you hear so much about it in basketball in particular when you see teams for a third and fourth time in the NCAA tournament. Lacrosse, obviously, similar to football, you play a much shorter schedule, so you don't see teams 3, 4, 5 times in a year. But you're as familiar with Aurora as you are with anybody you guys have played over the last 3, 4 years. And Gage sitting there, having seen this team now 4 times over the last 15 months, do you guys have to make a lot of adjustments today on the offensive end in particular to be ready for anything they were going to throw at you to try to prevent a 24-goal outburst like we saw a couple months ago?
Well, it varies game to game, but just keep doing our thing, attack.
But it is hard to see a team this many times.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them a lot, and
Yeah.
they get more comfortable with our style. And so, like I said, we tried to change some things up, and it went okay. Again, you found a way to win, and that's all that matters now.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly, 100%. Looking ahead now to this weekend, tough matchup coming with Tufts, of course, out in New York. We'll give you a little bit of time to get travel plans and everything like that set. But as you turn the page on this one, as you look forward to getting to play one of the traditional top teams in Division III and heading out east again, Michael, obviously not your first time heading out that way for a second-round NCAA tournament game to face a team that's going to bring a tough offense table. What are you looking at trying to do defensively, just in one-on-one matchup or in your zone, to try to stop a couple of the top scorers you're going to see out east this weekend?
I think the biggest thing defensively, whether it be
in man or zone is just knowing our job, knowing our role, and everyone doing their role to the best of their abilities. Because when we get 6 guys moving in the same direction, I'd like to think we're pretty tough to score on. And then when we can clear the ball, get the ball out of our own end, and let the offense do their job, because they're fun to watch when they're humming.
Ruckus, one might say.
Yes.
I don't know if I've heard that word before, but Alex getting split time with Colin in goal today. 5 goals and 5 saves, an outstanding performance there in the first half, keeping the Titans in the game during what was probably an up and down 30 minutes, I'd say, for the offense overall. What are your takeaways from the way Aurora was trying to attack your defense in the first half?
I think Coach A talks about it, like defense is just effort and enthusiasm, and usually that will get you most of the way. Of course, there's some X's and O's, but effort and enthusiasm will carry you a long way on the defensive end. And then you saw some new faces, so as a team, we just talked about just being ready when your number gets called. You never know when you have to go in.
Michael, you walked in here right away. You said, Ethan, 10 ground balls. How about that? How about your guys' defense performance today, just as a whole?
Yeah, I think it was a little up and down. But I do think that when we fall back on our principles, just like first time ground balls, being physical down low, not giving up anything easy, I think we can fall back on that.
Yeah, but talk about Bones for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I want to brag about him for a little bit. He kind of flies under the radar in everything. He shouldn't. He should probably be at the very top of everybody's radar. He's one of my best friends. Get to spend every day with him, but he is without a doubt the hardest working person I've ever played with, and I want to keep going. I want to keep it rolling.
So you guys had the incident at the end of the first half. It kind of got really physical at the end there, and then you come out in the second half. You score 7 unanswered. Can you guys kind of speak on that?
Yeah, just I don't know. It's part of the game. I mean, it's a physical game, guys. You know, it's emotional. Like, it's no big deal. And I think we were able to refocus and just refocus and scored 7 in the third, which was great. It's a great response.
Definitely. And they had 25 turnovers. 17 of them were caused by you guys today. 17 to 12 caused turnovers. You guys had a lot of them today, and you didn't commit a whole lot of turnovers at some points. Can you guys kind of speak on that too? Coach, you go first.
You want to go first, Mike?
About
Because you had a ton, didn't you?
no, I don't think
know
so.
if that's probably- I thought your stick was great today in the lanes.
Yeah, I think we work on it in practice. Just
No, Bones at 3.
yeah, no, Bones said yeah. He's all over the stat sheet.
Should we talk about Bones again?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I do agree. He probably has one of the best stick skills I've ever seen a defender have. And
Super savvy.
yeah, like he just knows. He knows what the offense is going to do before they do it, and he's kind of taught everybody on the defensive end, like his methods, and I think it's started to bleed into other people's games. Just kind of throw your stick in there and see what happens. Like the worst that happens is you don't get it. So
we have something that we bring out to the field every day. It's a shovel. I won't get into what that means, but there's really there are a ton of guys on our team I think could carry that out every day. There's 2 guys that I think really stand at the top. One's Oxy. I mean, Oxy's the ultimate teammate. I mean, from day one, but what he has done this year has been incredible from a teammate standpoint. But the guy that has the shovels, Bones, 31, and that stat line is perfect. I mean, he's on every ground ball. He's up every time in transition. He doesn't say a word. I mean, he just shows up every day and just works. So again, I think we have a lot of guys that could be honored to carry that, but I think you're looking at Oxy and Bones for sure at the top of that list.
And finally, Gage, you had 4 points today, 10 shots, 7 on goal, and 3 ground balls. Kind of a big stat sheet stuffer today too. Kind of speak on your offensive presence today's game. Obviously, you were the hero in the last game, and then you just coming out with 4 points today too, right?
It's kind of a rough day. Like we said, we were kind of moving some stuff around, and even though there were like little changes, it should have dealt with them better, but kind of threw me off a little bit. I don't know. I think we had a good day offensively in some aspects, but I'm excited for Saturday.
Yeah, and it's you always trying to take some positives from some negatives sometimes maybe, and getting to see senior like Brendan Baumgarten out there scoring goal in an NCAA tournament game. That's awesome. You gotta love that. Great day for Sam Weinberg too. 4 goals, 2 assists for Sam. Tristan Seeley.
Nice.
Brendan's another one of those guys that shows up every day and does the right things. I mean, he's an incredible teammate. I've coached Gage and Brendan since they've been in the 6th grade, and they both have always worked as hard as anybody, and both have been incredible people to be around. So it was really cool to see Brendan. This guy scores a ton of goals, but it was cool to see Brendan out there today. Yeah, he was a beast.
There's no cheering in the press box, but that one got a big old fist pump at the mic. I can tell you that one, that's for sure. Thank you guys so much for joining us, Alex, Michael, Gage, and Coach Iannucci. Good luck this weekend. Have a great trip, and good luck against Tufts on Saturday.
Thank you.